Tonight on News 5 Live, a daring mid-afternoon attack on 3 Belize City men. A 61-year-old is shot along with 2 others on Mahogany Street. The Belize Bank welcomes a new chief executive officer and the latest on the sugar impasse in the north. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
We have breaking news from Channel 5 on Coney Drive. I repeat, we can confirm that the delivery of this Christmas package is almost complete. The most critical phase is about to commence. That is, getting it delivered in time.
May the gift of peace, the gift of joy, shine bright for you and your loved ones this Christmas and in the new year.
Let's celebrate Christmas together with Smart's amazing season deals. Check out our showrooms and get deals for as low as $99 and get free credit, SMS, and data. If you already have a phone, you can join the Smart family. Swap your SIM and get a free SIM plus $100 promo credit. Get 50% off your first and second month when you sign up for selected postpaid plans. That's a promotion you know I miss. Free not done with Smart. Get free installation and 1 month free when switching from another internet provider. Plus, with every SIM swap, device purchase, broadband or postpaid sign-up, you automatically get entered into our raffle for a chance to win a Samsung S22, a year free smart broadband, or $500 cash. Make it one Christmas together, only with Smart. Smart management and staff, thank you tremendously for all the love you shared during the year. We look forward to serving you as you power your dollar in 2023.
This Christmas, take the guesswork out of gifting and take advantage of a galaxy of Christmas gifts from Samsung. Whether you're buying a Galaxy for you or loved ones, you can make their year with a Galaxy for everyone. Take advantage of rock-bottom deals on the full A-Series, S-Series, and Z-Series lineup with Samsung phones starting as low as $299 and Galaxy Tabs for as low as $389. Scratch everybody off your list with a full month of low prices available at any authorized Samsung reseller, including Cellular World, Digi, and Odette's Home Center. Plus, enjoy the affordable awesomeness when you shop, save, and secure your purchase with a 1-year local warranty, included with all Galaxy devices. Even better, get a chance to win up to $20,000 in prizes only when you shop for Galaxy this month from authorized Samsung resellers. Capture the moment, share love, and spread joy this season with a galaxy of Christmas gifts from Samsung. The deals continue this massive season. Starting December 12th until December 24th, it's 12 straight days of massive deals with up to 25% off on selected items each day. From grills to appliances and more, every day you get a new opportunity to take advantage of new items on sale. Check out our website and social media platforms for updates each day. Deals, P-Bucks, rewards, everything is massive this season at Belize.
When I assumed the Ministry of Sports in January of 2022, I recognized that everybody was doing their own thing and there was no collaboration. And ever since I tried to bring them together, that we have one objective, is to help our athletes to advance to the next level.
Our student athletes from the football community, I'm sure are listening out there right now, and I'm sure are more than pleased that starting January, the government of Belize is going to assist all those students that are on partial scholarship with a $600 Belize monthly subsidy. We at the FFB are happy that we could provide the opportunity to these students.
We don't understand that many of us don't have access to education. And for us to give 30, 16 and under kids the opportunity to get a tuition scholarship up to bachelor's degree in Belize is monumental, and it touches me. It impacts me a lot because I never had that opportunity, and I need these kids to understand the investment that this government is making in them.
So we have to incentivize sports. We have to send a very clear, loud message to our young student athletes across the country. Listen, if you invest in sports, if you invest your time and effort in sports, there is a reward for you. You can benefit from this. It's not just about you loving the sport and giving all of you to the sport. It's also about getting something back that will help you to be a better citizen of Belize. As both Sergio and Jacob said, we had very good discussions, and their passion, their commitment, along with, of course, the teams that they work with, their executives that they work with, That is the reason we're here today. They are deeply committed to the growth and development of these two very important sports, these global sports here in Belize. And they recognize how through sports they can create so much meaningful opportunities for young people in our country to uplift themselves, to uplift their families, their communities, and to showcase Belize.
Some no hear about this Broke Down Bram Festival that the House of Culture, Saturday the 17th of December, starting at 6 p.m. Yes, true Creole Christmas style. I mean all of the Broke Down artists there. Lord Ray-Ban, the Boomer Chime Band, Brother David, Brad Patico, Coconut Boy, Daggy, Broke Down Girl, Sam Harris, plus more. Yes, giving you all the old time and new time Broke Down hits. All of the nice Belizean food, cooked on fire heart. The Creole pastries they want today, along with some authentic arts and craft Creole vendors. Yes, this is a true Creole Christmas. Saturday the 17th at the House of Culture, 6 o'clock. I invite out the entire family for come at this one, yeah. So immediately after the Love FM Christmas parade, uno head straight to the Bram. Only $10 for adults and $5 for kids. It's the Broke Down Bram Festival, keeping Broke Down music alive. Sponsored by the Institute of Creative Arts, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, the Belize Tourism Board, the National Institute of Culture and History, Love FM and Travelers Liquors.
The Social Security Board is proud to have served Belizeans in 2022.
Belize faced challenges such as the continuing COVID-19 pandemic and Hurricane Lisa. Our country's resilience and ability to persevere in adversity is the prevailing and unifying theme. Of our many organizational accomplishments in 2022, we are particularly proud of our commitment to impact the lives of Belizean citizens positively and continuously under our corporate social responsibility portfolio. As a responsible corporate citizen, SSB supported various societal partners to amplify progress in many communities and provided empowerment opportunities through scholarships, sports, education, and health. SSB recognizes that for societal change to abound, we must continue our integral efforts to drive change and contribute to causes in meaningful and impactful ways. Our community engagements will forever serve as the most meaningful moments for 2022. 2023 will be another transformational year for SSB. It will be a year of enhanced community engagement and outreach, and the rollout of additional service enhancements via the My Social Security self-service portal. We stand ready to continue our service to you. From the Board of Directors, management, and staff of the Social Security Board, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, December 15th. I am Sabrina Daly. An early afternoon shooting on Mahogany Street in Belize City has left 3 men injured. At around 2 p.m. today, shots rang out near the complex building when at least one gunman targeted 3 men in a vehicle. Among the 3 victims is one person who News 5 is told was detained in connection with the double murder of Cleon Smith and Kendale Ramirez earlier this month. A News 5 team was on the scene moments after the shooting happened, and reporter Dwayne Moody files this report.
The police markers on the pavement on Mahogany Street just past the complex building are the telltale signs of the barrage of bullets fired at a vehicle in which 61-year-old Kingsley Morrison of Periwinkle Street, 25-year-old Ulide Allen, and 25-year-old Chris Welch of Jasmine Street were traveling. All three men were injured and rushed to the KHMH.
Police responded to a shooting incident at Mahogany Street, where we presently are. Initial information is that 3 persons were shot. They were taken to the KHMH where they are receiving treatment at this time. As soon as we have further information as to their condition, we will pass it on.
Is there any information as to how the shooting happened? If it was a drive-by, what happened?
Initial information is we have they were in a vehicle when shots were fired at them.
At the time of that interview, there was no information to indicate a motive behind the shooting, but News 5 has been informed that one of the victims was detained in connection with the recent double murder of Cleon Smith and Kendall Ramirez on December 4th on Electric Avenue. The incident is believed to be between feuding gangs, but this shooting comes on the heels of a meeting earlier today where gang leaders recommitted to keeping the peace.
It's an ongoing challenge, and it's something that will not be fixed overnight. It has to be that continuity and that support where these type of conversations are occurring, where we have to break these territorial lines, because that's the greatest issue we're being faced with, where some people are still not open to have people from a opposite territory enter their territory without the necessary permission. And so these things are some of the anomalies we'll have to be able to battle with as we go along. And these will come with time, like I said, through the rapport building, and we learn to start trust each other. Remember, some of these gangs have been feuding for years on end, and it's sad because the fear factor is real within them, and so they're not just looking to drop their guard overnight because of one meeting.
Hours later, Senior Superintendent Hilberto Romero gave an update on the condition of the 3 victims.
We have information that they are all in stable condition, and as soon as they are treated, then we will start with our interviews, and then we will have more information. But at this time I can report they are all in stable condition.
News 5 has confirmed that a firearm was retrieved in this latest shooting incident. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Mexican national Juan Espargas Sanchez, one of 4 foreigners detained in connection with the landing of a drug plane near Bladen on the Southern Highway in November of last year, appeared before the lower court today. He is represented by attorney Richard Dickey Bradley. During the case management committee held earlier, an application was made by the Crown for Corporal Jose Hernandez to be selected as a translator for Sanchez and 3 other men who speak only Spanish. Sanchez, who is considered a flight risk, is the only suspect who remains incarcerated. We spoke with attorney Bradley after today's session.
The senior magistrate for court number 6, who has charge of the matter, had ordered certain matters in relation to the case, and specifically in regards to disclosure. The amount of documentation in the disclosure is over 600 pages, and what transpired is that that has to be translated into Spanish. It is currently in English. The accused person whose name you called, Senor Juan Esparraga Sanchez, is not a person who understands or speaks the English language. The law in our country is that if you give disclosure, meaning all the statements and documents to be used against an accused person, it should be in a language that they understand. Otherwise, how can he defend himself or advise any lawyers what is his response to the matters therein? So the Honorable Senior Magistrate had ordered that the prosecution is to present information so the court can be in a position to properly inform the accused person. So today that was done because the hurricane had held back dealing with it earlier. Basically what has happened is that Senor Sanchez and 3 other persons understand only the Spanish language. They're all on bail, so they're free to come and go. He is, being a foreigner, he is only now having the idea what is in the documents, contemplating asking a court for his freedom or wait a couple months and hopefully the trial gets underway. So the magistrate, 2 the attorneys, myself, my colleague Leroy Banner, and my colleague Oscar Salgado, the hardest working attorney in Belize City right now, all agreed that that particular person is competent and qualified to give a faithful and accurate translation of the documents. As such, the magistrate had then actually spoken to the translator, Officer Hernandez, who has appeared in the Supreme Court as a person who is able to assist in translating documents.
The Belize Bank Limited has announced the appointment of Filippo Alario as Chairman and Chief Executive Officer. Alario joined the Belize Bank in 2009 as Deputy CEO and Chief Risk Officer, responsible for the bank's enterprise risk management framework, including strategy setting, governance, and correspondent banking relationships. Alario began his career as an associate editor at Latin Finance, a Euromoney publication, before transitioning into the Caribbean banking sector in 1994, where he held various executive management positions at leading international and regional financial institutions. He succeeds Lyndon Giuseppe in the capacity of Belize Bank Chairman and CEO. Coming up, Caribbean Union of Teachers hosts educational conference in Belize. Find out the details when we come back.
The Christ child was born in a manger over 2,000 years ago. He is the true magic of the Christmas season. As a symbol of gratitude, hope, peace, and goodwill towards men, and all the happiness that Christmas brings, let there be life!
You made this a Christmas to remember. Springtime feelings in the middle of December. Strangers meet and willingly surrender. Oh, what a Christmas to remember. Almost 20 Aspen, something told me no. I considered heaven, but there wasn't enough snow. And I even thought of Gatlinburg, it seemed so far to go. So I headed up to Tahoe for a Christmas on the slope.
I had fantasized about Christmas in this way, curled up by a fireplace.
undernutrition and obesity can exist side by side in the same country, home, or even person. Foods high in sugars, salt, and/or unhealthy fats are leading to unhealthy diets and are one reason why children may not be growing healthily, while causing other people to develop overweight or obesity. The consumption of unhealthy diets is heavily influenced by marketing. Easy access is fueling this new nutrition reality, but thankfully, change towards a healthier future is possible. By having a sustainable healthy diet made up of a variety of foods that are safe for consumption, we can promote health and have better abilities to fight illness. How do we do this? Good nutrition for women during pregnancy and for children in their first 1,000 days of life, including breastfeeding, sets them up for healthy adulthood and future generations. We should eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, pulses, nuts and seeds, and less sugary drinks and foods high in sugars, salt and unhealthy fats. The less of these foods we buy, the more the food industry will be encouraged to produce foods that contribute to healthy diets. We can also call on our leaders to make the right decisions so that every person, everywhere, can afford and access good nutrition. When people like you and me, industries and governments work together to make positive changes, we can create a healthier world.
Will be giving away over $50,000 in cash and prizes this Christmas, and we want you to help us spread the holiday cheer. This season, every prize winner gets the opportunity to pay it forward to a family or friend. It's easy. You win and you select someone to win the same prize. Now that's exciting. This Christmas, be gifted and pay it forward only with Digi. Season's greetings from our national telecom.
Hi, Ramiro here again. On behalf of the Sales and Management Department here at Champion Security, I would like to extend a warm thank you for your valued business. We value your trust and confidence in us and sincerely appreciate you. We understand that investing means taking a big risk, and therefore we look forward to continue providing you with the best and highest quality when it comes to security products. We work to ensure that for the price you pay, you get the protection that you need. Nothing is better than living each day with a peace of mind. Champion Security, where your safety is our business.
The Caribbean Union of Teachers is hosting its annual education conference in Belize. Over the last few days, union leaders from across the country have been engaged in meaningful discussions on some of the shared issues faced by teachers in the classroom. Those discussions have led to a number of proposed solutions that these leaders are now equipped with to take back to their school management and government leaders. News 5's Paul Lopez stopped in at the Biltmore today to learn more. Here's that report.
The Belize National Teachers Union is known for its vigor in championing the causes of teachers across the country. Of no surprise is that teachers across the Caribbean are faced with similar issues as those in Belize, from the lack of adequate resources in the classroom to the deep divide between unions and policymakers. Every year, teachers from across the region gather under the Caribbean Union of Teachers to brainstorm solutions for modern-day problems in the classroom. This year's conference is being held in Belize.
Very similar issues, and that is one of the very good thing of having the Caribbean Union of Teachers, that it brings us together. There are some nuances, but on the whole, we are all experiencing the same kind of challenges. We have resource issues. We have governments not listening to teachers. We have teachers who are underpaid. We have issues with the conduct of students in school, you name it. So we have some common issues across the board, and so we come together to see if we can find some solution to resolve them. We are not just about complaining, but it's about finding solutions to some of these problems, because if we don't know who will.
Dr. Garth Anderson, the president of the Caribbean Union of Teachers, says the 2 days of meeting seek to empower the members of CUT to ensure that they are on the cutting edge of the developments in the education sector. One such evolution is the increased use of technology in the classroom.
We know that for our reality, many of our schools and our students don't have resources to be able to properly engage in the use of technology. So that is one area that we have to work on. We just met, if you noticed a while ago, with a couple, and they have an organization that would be able to provide some of these resources, for example, laptops to schools. What we must do on our end is to have the data, because we're not a data-driven people. So we need to provide them with the data as to how many students need a device. What kind of devices would they need? What do the schools have? How can the schools make use of these things? And then we collaborate with them to be able to get these devices in country. The devices are available. What we have to now do is to, as I said, get the data, one. Two, work with government officials and ministries to see how we can get those devices in country without cost to the schools.
While collecting the necessary data is an endeavor on its own, importing large quantities of electronics for students without any cost to schools would require government intervention. But how does a teachers' union like the BNTU go about obtaining the necessary buy-in from policymakers for its proposal? For the most part, the relationship between the union members and the government has been antagonistic.
There would need to be two levels of communication to have the government buy into what unions are proposing and to implement policies in the best interest of students and education. The first level of communication would come when members themselves, as we have been encouraging during the conference, when members themselves come together and use their voices, share the ideas, share the concerns as well, make the recommendations. The other level of communication would have to do with how the unions collaborate with governments and the ministries of education. As the president said, it simply would not be, not we are making any apologies, it simply would not be, well, we want this. But show them why we would want it. Show them the cost, for example, the financial cost for why you're doing this A, B, C, D, E. Let them see the benefit to national development.
I think when we look at solutions that are realistic, things that are easily implementable, then there shouldn't be any reason why, as partners, we can't work together and get those implemented. Now, if we are looking at things that would need huge changes, for example, or would come at exorbitant costs, then we would understand that will take a longer time. But several of the things that we spoke about today and yesterday are things that can be implemented without needing financing.
The conference concludes later today with a dinner that will be hosted by Prime Minister John Briceño. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Teachers across the country are engaged in consultations on the National Curriculum Framework 2022. This is the second round of consultations being held in each district to ascertain the views of teachers on the new curriculum. The recommended amendments coming out of these sessions will be implemented before the start of the new school year in 2023, says Elena Smith, the president of the Belize National Teachers Union. We caught up with her in Belize City today, where she told us more.
We started now doing a second round of consultations with teachers across the country. And we are not just going one day of meeting or one half day of meeting. We are doing 2 days in each district. The purpose of these consultations is to hear from teachers, how did you find using the curriculum? What were the challenges? What is it that you need to be able to properly use the curriculum? And we are getting that kind of feedback from our teachers, and we are seeing where all of the parties in education, the union, the management, the ministry, Pathlight, and all the other partners are taking note of these concerns that teachers are sharing. And then coming back to the table to see, okay, how we can make those changes between now and the new school year. Because it is important that between now and the new school year that teachers get the necessary training that they need, they get the resources, and that the changes that are needed to the units or the curriculum are done I think when we were putting these documents together, we weren't really focusing on, for example, the multi-grade schools or the schools, particularly in the Toledo district, because the dynamics are different. And so while we are covering the same content across, we have to pay attention to how it is that these multi-grade schools can effectively carry out what we have in those units and in the curriculum, and how much more challenging it is for them to be able to provide for their students what is being required of them, especially when it comes to technology.
The Belize National Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education have been unable to finalize the revised collective bargaining agreement for the past 14 years. And yet another year is coming to an end without the conclusion of that document. It has been a long, drawn-out process due to differences of views and opinions on several issues that have seen teachers from across the country take to the streets. But according to President Smith, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. She says that process was made in 2022. The BNTU is now hopeful a new collective bargaining agreement will be settled by the end of this fiscal year.
In terms of progress, we did have, I think we probably met twice with the ministry to discuss some of the matters. Some of the feedback that we got from the minister in particular were very promising. And when I say that, because we had shared with the ministry prior some recommendations as to how we can finalize those outstanding areas. And some of them wouldn't have taken long. It just needed that will to do that. And as I shared earlier this morning, the minister has informed that Cabinet has indeed pressed that we finalize this matter. And we see where one of the issues that we were dealing with under Proposal 22 was the matter of the secondary schools, the grant-aided secondary schools and this 70-30 thing, as well as the community schools, because we have to look at who owns these schools and who will be held accountable for paying these teachers the additional 30%. We have made a bit of movement on that. We have to now sit and finalize, put it in writing, the changes that we have been made. For example, Toledo Community College has made some inroads with their position. So we want to finalize those and put them in writing now, sign off on them, and then we can go through. One of them would require possibly changes to the Pension Act, and that shouldn't take very long. So these are not things that are difficult to do. A few of them, for example, the secondary school teachers with commuting allowance and hardship would require some financing, of course, but I don't think that those are things that are unachievable. So I am looking forward before the end of this fiscal year to close off on that CBA.
After the break, still no compromises in Sugar Impasse as the start of the new crop season draws near. We get an update from the Agriculture Minister. But first, here's the weather report and forecast from the Belize Met Service.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child in the womb. MRI is non-invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates, we do care.
Don't know what to get the special someone for Christmas? Habet and Brothers Habet have you covered this Christmas.
Season greetings. Hey Dad, remember the shelves you made to tell me about? Yo, Corey, you got anything to make a saw? Hey guys, your favorite saw daddy here. Back with a brand new saw from Brothers Habet. My wife got this for me for Christmas. The Sawman is here.
All month long, give the gift of power with 15% off all power tools, 15% off all decorative paints, 15% off all sunlight windows and doors, 20% off all mirrors, and 15 to 60% off Westinghouse and design house light fixtures. Plus, with every $50 you spend, you get a chance to win a $500 gift certificate every day in our big 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. So come in today and save big. A merry and safe Christmas from the family at Habet and Brothers Habet.
Yo, Jamrock, search you anything right now.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
My lights, yeah. Go to my lights, go to my lights. You gotta go to my lights, yeah. I wanna shine, 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 shine. I hit my lights cause that's my plan, 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 plan. My lights have your favorite brand, 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 brand. Just come with nothing in your hands, 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 hands. My lights, and it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on, yeah. I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby let's go. My lights, I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby let's go. We going to the store, but we gon' do right. We gon' light a life, only with my light. We going to the store, but we gon' do right. We gon' light a life, only with my light.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
The new sugar crop is 4 days away, and today there's still no concrete outcome coming out of the mediations between the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and ASR BSI. The Minister of Agriculture told reporters today that he was concerned about what will come out of the last session, because at stake are the livelihoods of 5,000 cane farmers and their families. BSI has indicated that it is prepared to start receiving cane on December 19th, but the minister said that the worst case scenario would be going back to the status quo.
BSI has announced its preparedness for the 19th. However, the date to opening the crop is set by the Sugar Board. The Sugar Board term expired 1 day ago. This morning, I have appointed a new board. That board will meet, scheduled to meet tomorrow evening. And that date will be set. By law, it is the Sugar Board that sets the date for the commencement of the crop. BSI could have announced their readiness to start on the 19th. But the board makes the announcement by law. Turbine just came into the country from Mexico. It came in 2 days ago. They're installing it today, and we expect that to be up and running in 10 days. It takes 10 days for them, more or less, to install that turbine. So if they begin on the 19th, they won't begin with that turbine. It will take them until the 22nd, 23rd, 24th maybe to get the turbine working. And on the Christmas time, the mill does not operate. Right? So they are banking on that too.
Several farmers in rural Belize and Cayo districts mainly suffered losses in crops due to Hurricane Lisa on November 2nd. Today, the Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo May, told reporters that the final tally of the overall loss is still being worked out.
We have submitted a complete comprehensive report to NEMO. I think that we made public any time now. That has been submitted. That was the procedure submitted to NEMO for the agriculture sector damages. We did assessment already.
Can you give us a figure? And what district?
I can give that figure to you later, but I have a report and I can give it to you. Because it has been changing every day, new reports come in. But the final report came in, I think, sometime a week ago, right? And so I want to look at that carefully before I release it. But I can give it to you, that's no problem.
The government of Belize, through the Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the Green Climate Fund, hosted consultations for its climate data and information gap assessment and action plan validation earlier today. This project is for the coastal zone and fisheries sector of Belize. The consultation is the second and final round of the GCF's Enhancing Adaptation Planning and Increasing Climate Resilience project. The representatives consulted are actively involved in data collection and policy and planning. Those consulted are also knowledgeable of their organization's role in Belize's nationally determined contributions commitments. We attended the session in Belize City this morning, where we spoke with Brittany Main Rancharan, the lead consultant.
Over the past few months, we've been meeting with different stakeholders within the government, as well as academia and private sector in the coastal and fisheries sector, taking a look at the different climate data and information that they collect that is necessary to implement Belize's biggest climate change policy, which is Belize's nationally determined contribution. So in order for Belize to meet its climate change targets, its international obligations, and what it sets out to the world that we must achieve, we need this data to achieve these goals. So we're taking a look particularly at one of our most vulnerable sectors, the coastal and fisheries sectors, mapping the data gaps. And what we're taking a look at today is validating the data gaps in these sectors, and also proposing actions and recommendations for filling these gaps, and how interministerially we can work together to plan to, meet some of the data management challenges.
Over 40 newly qualified beekeepers graduated today after successfully completing training in the field of work. The beekeepers, who hail from all across the country, gathered at Hodie's Place in San Ignacio to receive their certificates of completion. The accomplishment means more than just the fact that Belize has more honey producers. It means that the once thriving industry can again become a revenue earner on the export market. News 5's Marion Ali reports.
The 40-plus persons who received their certificates of completion from a beekeeping course in the Cayo district signifies that Belize is once again able to export honey, like we did back in the 80s, says Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo May.
Way back in the 80s, the production of honey fell. It fell so low that there was barely any production. We used to export to Europe at that time. So after so many years and efforts, we couldn't get it up until now. Now we have to move forward towards looking at the export market now. We only have a certain amount which can be consumed in the country because of population.
The possibility of getting Belizean honey on the world market would mean a good livelihood for Stephanie Ramirez, who received her certificate today.
Definitely, that's the goal, to be able to tap into the export market and to be able to tap into the other byproducts of the bees, because a lot of time we put our emphasis on honey, but there are many other byproducts that are even more expensive. So you would get a bigger income if you start diversifying into the other byproducts such as the pollen, the royal jelly, and so we can get on that level with Mexico and Guatemala.
Along with Stephanie were Ophelia Chiak and Melvin Requena, whose families are also in the business. For them, it was only natural that they pursued the same means of income.
We grew up on agriculture, so it was necessary to have bees on the farm because, the bees offer different pollination services to the fruits, and then which also then increases our production, which also results in increased profits for the family.
My father and my grandparents were beekeepers, but when I actually realized it's when I didn't have anything to do during pandemic. That is when I don't have anything. I was at home, find myself at home, and that's when I realized that it's something. Actually the idea came from my son, who's also with me, and that is when we started to go into it.
The beekeepers spent the past few weeks learning every aspect of beekeeping.
Management, managing bees. Nobody likes to get bee sting, But that's the first thing you have to deal with. The stings, the day-to-day management, the cultural practices, how do you establish a hive, how do you set them out, what are some of the constraints you'll find, some of the problems you'll deal with, just like a farm. It's a farm.
To get Belizean honey export ready, however, there would have to be certain marketing and quality assurance standards in place.
It means now that we have to have traceability in place. We have to have good manufacturing practices. We have to have good standards in place if we're going to tap into the export market.
What countries are we thinking of, and how much revenues are we looking at?
I'm unable to say right now. It's a little premature to say which countries we're exporting to and what is the value of the exports. But from indications, the market for organic honey is great in Europe.
The beekeepers all received equipments they will need to manage their apiaries. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
When we return, Belize On Reel takes you to the Belize Zoo ahead of its reopening this Saturday, following the damages it sustained from Hurricane Lisa. Stay tuned.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800-A-WAY OUT or our cell phone number 672-9628.
Hola. Disculpa por no llegar anoche. Lo siento. He estado hace tiempo con ganas de decirte algo. Últimamente estoy lidiando con mis problemas de salud mental.
I think if there was no stigma around mental health, I'd be more open about what I'm going through on the inside. And I don't know. Maybe I'd find that other people in my life are actually going through the same thing.
Há alguns anos, comecei a contar para outras pessoas sobre minha ansiedade. Isso me ajudou a descobrir ótimas formas de como lidar com ela.
Soy muy sociable. Creo que si hablara sobre mis problemas de la salud mental, simplemente no lo creerían. Por eso no hablo de ello.
Me preocupa que si la gente se enterara de mi salud mental, pensarán que soy débil. Por eso me aislé. Pero creo que voy a cambiar esto.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Tonight, for our weekly Belize on Reel feature, we'll show you the massive cleanup effort that has been undertaken at the Belize Zoo following the devastation caused by Hurricane Lisa over 6 weeks ago. In the month of November, the zoo lost almost $200,000 in revenue, as the facility had to be closed down in order to carry out a cleanup campaign and restoration. 6 weeks later, the Belize Zoo is returning bigger and better. News 5's Isani Catano visited the Belize Zoo and has the following story.
Like other parts of central Belize, when Hurricane Lisa made landfall on November 2nd, it also wreaked havoc at the Belize Zoo. The Category 1 storm damaged enclosures, trails, and other structures at the wildlife refuge.
We had no income for the month of November, and that was about $190,000 in cost to the zoo. We had to hire additional people, we had to buy material. For example, you saw the jaguar habitat. We had to rebuild one of the jaguar habitat from scratch. That cost us about $65,000, just that one habitat. Overall, it's going to cost the zoo about $400,000. That would be our estimated figure for the cost from Hurricane Lisa.
A damage assessment conducted immediately after the natural disaster would verify that roughly 75% of the plants found at the zoo were also affected.
Every manager and staff that works at the zoo is still reporting to work, even though we're closed to the public. It's just that rather than having, as you say, the different the tourism aspect, the education aspect, everybody's doing manual labor now. So trading in the castile, for example, for a machete and a cloth to clean. So that will be the norm for the next few weeks until it is back in a place where we can welcome the public.
6 weeks later, Sylvia is pacing gingerly inside her enclosure.
It took us a couple of weeks to be able to restore her habitat over. So she was in a holding area for a couple of weeks. For us to get her out took us maybe like 3 weeks or so. And the keepers work like even on their days off to be able to see her back into her habitat. So we had to come in extra days. Everyone was trying to get her out as quick as possible from there. So we had to put up a portion of the fence, make sure all the electric wires were working.
Neo is also busy climbing. When he's not putting on a show for our camera, he's scarfing down a whole fish. Elsewhere at the facility, the harpy eagles are perched on huge branches overlooking the massive cleanup campaign that is taking place below. The Belize Zoo is gearing up to reopen its doors to the public once again.
It's been a monumental task. It's nothing we have faced before. Lisa, as we would say in Creole, did a number to the zoo. We had some trees, hardwood trees like mahogany, soft trees like the ceiba, cedar. All those trees were planted in 1990 when we moved to this site. And a lot of those trees were toppled over by Lisa. The few that remained standing, their branches were just ripped off, broken. And the unique thing about the Belize Zoo is the natural habitat, the natural vegetation we have. It provides shade, it provides comfort for the animals, and it's also a protection for guests coming to the zoo from the sun.
But when those trees fell, debris littered many, if not all, of the pathways that lead to various exhibits. It's nothing short of a Herculean effort, clearing and trickling away fallen branches and foliage.
It's been a lot of work trying to get everything back to not how it was, because now we have a lot of trees that have fallen that were giving a lot of shade to the animals that were here. But the restoration of most of the habitats is almost completed. It has taken us longer than we had anticipated. So it took us over 5 weeks to where we are right now. And even though Saturday we will have the zoo reopened again for visitors and for the public to come in and see, it's still not to 100%.
Indeed, getting the zoo back to where it was before the hurricane has been no easy task. They're not fully there yet, but what visitors can expect to see when they are allowed to return to the facility are all their favorite birds and cats.
We're reopening on Saturday, and it will be a phased reopening. Some of the habitats will not be available, and it's mostly because of safety for guests. We haven't been able to reach all the habitats to make sure that they are 100% safe to guests. So what we're doing is we're going to curtain off some of the habitats. But all the charismatic species that people are used to, the jaguars, the tapir, the harpy eagle, the scarlet macaw, the parrots, all 5 cats will be available to the public. And I invite Belizean supporters to come and see what it's been like for us here at the Belize Zoo. Come and see the amount of work that is left for us to do.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
There's much more news after the break, so stay tuned.
How are we to measure the success of our lives? For many, an ordinary life should have the following: a job, a house, enough money to buy a new car. But what if we threw out the ordinary? What could escaping ordinary at our jobs do? How about for our marriages? What if I told you we could all be escaping ordinary. Join us as we begin our new series.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marion Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Let's celebrate Christmas together with Smart's amazing season deals. Check out our showrooms and get deals for as low as $99 and get free credit, SMS, and data. If you already have a phone, you can join the Smart family. Swap your SIM and get a free SIM plus $100 promo credit. Get 50% off your first and second month when you sign up for selected postpaid plans. That's a promotion you know I miss. Free not done with Smart. Get free installation and 1 month free when switching from another internet provider. Plus, with every SIM swap, device purchase, broadband or postpaid sign up, you automatically get entered into our raffle for a chance to win a Samsung S22, a year free smart broadband, or $500 cash. Make it one Christmas together, only with Smart. Smart management and staff, thank you tremendously for all the love you shared during the year. We look forward to serving you as you power your dollar in 2023.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
We have breaking news from Channel 5 on Coney Drive. I repeat, we can confirm that the delivery of this Christmas package is almost complete. The most critical phase is about to commence. That is, getting it delivered in time.
May the gift of peace, the gift of joy, shine bright for you and your loved ones this Christmas and in the new year.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for Financial Literacy Journalism.
Personnel from rural resilient Belize today gifted 500-liter water tanks to the 15 members of the Maya Green Growers Cooperative of San Antonio Village, Cayo. The water tanks, valued at $2,100 each, will be used during the dry season, according to the cooperative's president, Gary Canto.
We're using for the dry season because dry season we have to the water is not enough for the village because everybody in this farm is getting water. Irrigation purpose. I have a farm. I have sweet pepper. I got tomato. I got watermelon. I got lettuce. For the dry season, the system is not enough. This is for receiving the water. This is the second phase. The first phase we receive 1 printer, one desktop, and then we have received the 100 crate of for packing of potatoes, sweet pepper, like for carry to the market.
The Concepcion Vegetable Farmers Cooperative Society Limited, the Northern Sustainable Agro Producers Cooperative Society Limited, as well as the 7 Miles Farmers Association have entered into matching grant fund agreements with the Ministry of Economic Development through the Resilient Rural Belize Initiative. The purpose of the matching grant fund agreement is to provide resources and technical assistance to improve in volume and quality the agricultural productions of the 3 producer organizations. It will also assist with organizational capacities and marketing value-added strategies, while also safeguarding food security in the context of existing and projected climate change effects.
I want to emphasize here the importance and the role that the RRB and its team will have to play in order to move to implementation and to get the job done, which is the most important part for the POC, which I see some members of the POC, Mr. Arsu, Dr. Gladden, CEO Shal here. Our emphasis is always to when will the job be done. And I must congratulate the RRB team because you have done a lot in a year time, thinking about January to December. I want to share with you that last week I attended the board of directors of CDB, and I want to congratulate RRB because we did submitted an additional loan to CDB and it was approved. It's a loan of 10 million Belize dollars that will complement the project, the 40 millions that it has. And right away when it was approved, I sent a message to Dr. Flowers and I said, job well done. You and your staff and your officer has done well. There was not a question from the board of directors. At the contrary, there were a lot of positive comments, and they're looking at the donors coordination part. They're looking at the possibilities of replicating an RRB program in the Caribbean.
The San Pedro Lions Club donated $1,000 to the Sister Cecilia Home for the Elderly today towards the facility's hurricane recovery efforts. As we have reported, the home for the elderly sustained significant damage as a result of Hurricane Lisa. And while the institution is well on its way to recovery, there is still much more left to do. So today, the president of the San Pedro Lions Club, Everett Anderson, handed over $1,000 to the home in Belize City.
We use it to help with the residents and, writing for the home. As you know, that we lose a lot of things in the weather, the hurricane. So it come in really handy for us. We appreciate it a lot. Oh, well, so far we still had a lot of work to do. We have to really be there for the residents because I know some of them get nervous with this weather because they went through a lot of weather in their time. So we are trying hard to, keep them calm and quiet. But so far we are getting there. Everyone is okay so far, thank God for that.
The San Pedro Lions Club is part of Lions International Club, and with over 1.5 million members in 200 countries and 48,000 clubs. And we comprise what is known as Zone 59. In Belize City, we have four clubs, one in Belmopan, one in San Esteban, one in Belize City, and one in San Pedro. And we follow Lions International global causes. And one of our global causes is disaster relief. And we know that the Hurricane Lisa did a lot of damage around our country, especially in Belize City. And we saw the Sister Cecilia institution got hurt. And since we are in the month of caring and giving, our members decided to choose this institution to provide this donation.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.